My name is Antonio Kilgo. I work for Waddell Electric. I'm a member of IBEW, Local 275 out of Coopersville, Michigan. How do you feel about an honest day's work and an honest day's wage? Because if that's what you think you're getting, I can show you something else. I can really open your eyes to what's really going on out here. And until you take that leap of faith, you're going to continue believing whatever you can believe, whatever you do believe, which is fair and everybody's entitled to that. But unless you take the opportunity to allow me to show you, then you're just going to be stuck in where you're at right now, where I've been for many a years.
Yeah.
So, that's what I would tell, and I've been telling people that.
Okay.
A lot of my guys still are unorganized, and you get stuck in that rut. I was stuck in that same rut.
Okay.
And until you get in a good position and make that change, you just won't know. I get the feeling like somebody out there has my back. I'm not out there alone. When the guys I work with, it's a feeling like everybody's on the same level. We're not competing against each other. There's no type of sibling rivalry. When I was non-union, I was always competing against the guys I was working with. And we all work for the same company, but we're always fighting for the same scraps or the same anything. So we weren't really together. Although we worked for the same team, we worked against each other. So my biggest difference is that all the places I work for, it's the same vibe. It's the same, hey, how you doing? Come on in. This is what we got to do. Let's all do it. We're all working together, and it just works. It's kind of streamlined. Now, safety is an issue. It's a topic. It's always being discussed. It's always being like bird dog, not in a bad way, but for instance, I was working on a job. It's my first day on a job. I'm so used to just climbing on the lift and just going to do the job I got to do. And I think it was Dave. It was one of the guys. Just in passing, said, hey, the harness for that thing is right there. That's what? I didn't even think about putting the harness on. I was just going to go do the job. And he just said, oh, the harness for that is over there. Just let me know, you should have that harness on. And then I thanked him, put my harness on, and did the job. It's like, wow. And then I started thinking about it after that. I kind of started checking it out, safety glasses, and the earplugs. Wasn't even thinking about it, just kind of doing my job like I normally do. And one of the guys came and said, hey, we got earplugs over here. And I was like, man, this is stuff I should be thinking about for my own personal safety. But that was that feeling that I mentioned earlier, just knowing people got your back. Even if I'm not thinking about my own personal safety, the guys I work with, they're like, hey, always there. So I'm like, man, so you can kind of relax, focus more on your job and get the job done. So I think that's why my experience has been just it's a blessing to me, a true blessing. The first time I walked on the job with my combo kit and my benders and my socket set, I had just my normal everyday gear I've been lugging back and forth every day prior. And the foreman said, dude, take that stuff back to your car. I felt like the biggest fool. Everybody on the site was like, what are you doing? I'm like, these are my tools, because I've been brainwashed and has been beaten into me so bad for so long. Is you show up with your tools. You don't show up, then go get your tools. You show up with your tools. Everything you're going to need, you better have on you when you walk onto that job site. And that's just the mentality I've had for all these years. So to get on a job site and they're telling me, you need to take that back to your truck, I was just baffled. And it took a while. It took not a week, maybe a couple weeks for me to just it to sink in. Like, man, they got everything I need for me to do the job. I just got to come here and do the job. It was foreign. It was so foreign for somebody to say, you just show up to do the job and you let me know what you need and I'll get it for you. That don't happen in my world at all. So for it to happen, it just put me on a fast track of, that's why companies like Works and especially Warren is like, you're doing a great job. I love you, man. Don't go anywhere, because I get so much done. And then if I need something, I say, hey, I need this, and then they get it for me. So I think that is the biggest difference of them showing, the contractor showing how much they appreciate you and how much they want you on a job site to perform a certain job. And just one specific way of saying, if you need something to do this job that I'm asking you to do, let me know and I'll get it for you. Man, it just sounds too good to be true. It's just too good to be true. And every day I have to wake up and pinch myself, like, because I've been doing it the other way for so long. And for a person like me and where I come from, I just can't believe, like, man, how did I get here? How is this happening? Is this really real? And every day gets better. For me, myself, when I wake up in the morning, I can't wait to go to work. I would be at work all day. Like, my last big job was the Helen DeVos Children's Hospital. And even though it was my job, it was just a job to where, okay, I have to do this to pay my bills. This is what I'm doing to pay my bills. It's not that I wanted to do it, it's that I could do it and I can get paid to do it, so I do it. There was not like work's supposed to be fun and happy all the time, but you're supposed to really enjoy it. In hindsight now, being organized, I love my job. The people I work with, every person I meet, I've never yet had a person tell me anything bad about who they work for or the job they're doing or anything like that, versus every day, every job site, you constantly hear, it's just a normal routine where somebody's complaining about the job they're doing, the position they're in, how much they're getting paid. This ain't right, that ain't right. It's just kind of like a soap opera, and you kind of either alienate yourself and you're the oddball on the job site, or you jump right in and now you're doing it. So I was always the oddball, because I'm like, man, why sit around and complain about stuff we can't change? Not knowing I could have easily changed it. Had buddies all the time saying, come on over, man, you need to get organized. Just show up. Just come to a meeting, man. Just come talk to my guy. Make a phone call. It was always that simple, for whatever reason. From where I come from, we can go on forever. Just like so many things you bring up. Just for instance, the break issue, like with E2, the last 3.5 years, there was no lunch, there was no break. We worked straight, and I didn't ever see a problem. I thought it was an advantage to me, because I'm like, okay, well, we can just keep working and get the day going and keep the momentum going. But I just never thought about it. There was no breaks, there was no lunches, there was no nothing. We just came, and my foreman was cracking the whip, and we just did it. And I just never seen nothing. I just thought it was the way it was supposed to go. I just really didn't see nothing wrong with it. I had Stockholm syndrome. But in hindsight, that's just what gets me so amped up, because I'm living it. And when I talk to my buddies all the time, I got a text from a buddy today that I work with at E2, and he's like, man, I'm thinking about quitting. I said, dude, you should have quit when I quit, man. I told you. Better come on over. You keep complaining about what's not fair and what's not right. You sound just like I sounded when me and you used to talk. But this is what I did. You got to at least come over and check it out. And he's like still complaining and complaining and complaining. So how many times do I got to tell him, like, dude, I'm living it. Believe it. I'm living it. Stop crying. Stop bitching. Don't complain about things you cannot change. So can you change it or not? and you haven't tried all your options, so you can't say you can't change it. That was my own problem right there. It means a lot to me to be a member of the IBEW. Um, you know, if you can wrap your mind around any kind of descriptive word that means support, that means truth, honor, a fair day's work, fair day's wage. That's one of my biggest feelings I get when I wake up in the morning, or anybody says, you know, what's that sticker on your car, or what does that mean? You know, when I wear my IBEW shirts, and you know, I was at the movie theater and the guy asked me, "Hey, what kind of shirt is that? Is that a full throttle?" And I'm like, "Full throttle, dude!" So I had to take the shirt off and say, "Look, man, this is local 275. This is IBEW. Who do you work for?" You know, and I just go on this automatic spiel because it just comes out of me because it's a good feeling. It feels right. That's what local 275 feels to me. It feels right. Like I'm finally doing like the right thing. I don't have to think about it and say I should do this because it's the right thing to do. I'm doing it because I don't have a choice. I know it. This was the thing for me. This is where I should have been a long time ago. But maybe I had to go through the trials and tribulations of being unorganized to appreciate this level of brotherhood. But I'm here now. I made it. So I might not have been the first, but not the last either.